Hey guys, Pitmaster here. Let's go over UFC 197. Let's talk about it. This is Sensei UFC. We've talked about this before. We're going to talk about it again and again. You can learn so many lessons as a martial arts instructor or a martial arts student or any kind of martial artist from the UFC, because there is no better proving grounds for martial arts, street fighting, any type of combat, hand-to-hand combat than the UFC. And you're looking at the best trained, skilled martial artists in the world in the UFC. And watching them and what works and what doesn't, and that includes strategies as well as techniques. It's like invaluable as a dojo. You can learn so much in that dojo. I mean, you just got to open your mind and take what works for you and don't take what doesn't work. And let me give you some examples, just like I do every week after the UFC. These are the things I spotted. There could be one in every fight. There could be 10 in every fight. I usually pick about 3 each card and just make it easy for everyone. Okay, so let's talk about the Demetrius Johnson fight against Cejudo, but it's like should be judo, but it's a J. But anyway, okay. Cejudo likes to rest in the clinch, and Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, knew that. The clinch in MMA is no place to rest. Cejudo had a wrestling background, and if you had a boxing background, you can rest in the clinch because not too much a guy can do. In the clinch in boxing, the guy might be able to do a couple little short punches, then the referee's going to break you. It is a good little rest. In wrestling, there's a lot of positions that they're going to do in the clinch, but there's no striking, so you can rest. But in a street fight or an MMA fight, the clinch is one of the most busy places to be. I mean, you're in the pocket, you're busy. You're outside, you're moving. In the clinch, there's so many things that can happen in a clinch in a real fight. Knees, elbows, takedowns, head snaps, submissions. There's so many ways to win or lose a fight in a clinch. It is no place to rest. If you want to rest, don't be in the pocket. There's no place to rest. The clinch is no place to rest. The only place to rest, if you have any rest, besides in between rounds, is on the outside, moving. And you're not really resting because you have to be moving laterally, but you can rest a lot more on the outside while you're moving laterally than you can while you're in the inside. And Cejudo found that out really quickly when he ate about 3 hard knees, an elbow, and then another knee, which actually dazed him, and he got finished off with a couple punches. So, lesson from UFC 197, lesson 1, do not rest in the clinch. Do not go to the clinch for your rest. That's not where you want to rest. You need to be so alert in that clinch, working for positions, strikes, submission, and takedown defenses. So do not rest in the clinch. Okay? Next fight. We're talking about Robert Whittaker and Rafael Natal. I've talked about this, and I'm gonna beat this dead horse every single time. I think this was a close fight. It was kind of back and forth for a while, but I think conditioning won this fight. Whittaker was much stronger in the last round, throwing a lot better, throwing harder, more. He had much sharper punches and kicks and technique than Natal. Conditioning can win or lose your fight. Take your conditioning when you train very, 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 very seriously. It could win or lose your fight. Don't just think it's something to do if you have time. Conditioning is as important as striking, wrestling, submissions, okay, conditioning. There's 4 very important parts to the physical game of fighting, martial arts. Striking, wrestling, which just means from the striking to the ground. Whether it's defending the takedown, getting the takedown, that's what I consider wrestling. Then once the fight does hit the ground, I call it submissions or jiu-jitsu. And that's either getting up from the bottom, getting onto the top, reversing, sweeping, submitting, attacking on the ground. I call that jiu-jitsu. And then conditioning. Those are the 4 aspects of any true fight. MMA, street fight, or whatever. So conditioning, take it seriously. It's at least 25% of your game. Okay? All right, lesson number 3. This is the last one for UFC 197. Speed. When all other things are equal, speed will win. And Barbosa against Pettis. I think the only difference, or the biggest difference in that fight, was Barbosa's speed, or advantage in speed. And speed is something you can train. You can't, if you're slow, you're never probably going to be fast, but you can get a lot faster. And when you're talking about speed, a lot of times, putting punches together as fast as you can, you might not be a Muhammad Ali or a Sugar Ray Leonard, but if you always just throw one punch at a time or one kick at a time, always going for power, you're not going to develop that speed. So practice your speed while you're working. You might not become from slow to fast, but I guarantee you will become faster. Okay? And then timing comes into play, and then power, and all these other things. Speed is not the one and only, but build up your speed, because when all other things are the same, speed will win the fight for you. Okay? Thanks for coming. Please subscribe to this channel, because I'm trying to get it out there so all you guys can get these benefits of Sensei UFC, so you can learn from every UFC. I will give you lessons from every UFC. I promise. All right? Thanks for coming, guys. Comment, subscribe. See you guys later.